Hello, welcome back. Let's talk about health insurance in the United States, all right? Health insurance in Portuguese is seguro de saúde, okay? Seguro de saúde is health insurance, okay? Like always, I'll say the first line, you repeat after me. Please put these new words and phrases in your notes. Por favor, coloca essas novas palavras e frases dentro de suas anotações, okay? In Quizlet or, whichever application you're using, whichever app, and in your notebook, no seu caderno também, okay? Let's go. Health insurance in the United States is complicated. Health insurance in the United States is complicated. Okay, so health insurance, o plano de saúde in the United States, nos Estados Unidos, is complicated. Muito parecido de português, é complicado, okay? Every plan differs in price and coverage. Every plan differs in price and coverage. Okay, so every plan é cada plano, difere in price and coverage, em preço e cobertura, okay? So coverage here é cobertura, okay? On average, a typical health insurance plan for two people okay, so on average is in média, okay? A typical health insurance plan, plano de saúde típico, okay? Típico é típico. For two people, para duas pessoas. Costs around $1,100. Costs around $1,100, ok? Aqui a gente pode falar $1,100. Ou também podemos falar $1,100. Só para você ver a diferença entre as duas, ok? Okay, so $1,100 or $1,100, ok? Costs around $1,100 é custa cerca. Costs around, custa cerca. Aqui, ó. Considering minimum wage in the United States, okay, so considering é considerando minimum wage in the United States, que é o salário mínimo nos Estados Unidos, is around $1,200 per month. Okay? Is around é de cerca, okay? De $1,200 por mês. How are most Americans able to afford? How are most Americans able to afford healthcare? Okay? So, how are most Americans, como a maioria dos americanos, able to afford, são capazes de pagar, ok? Healthcare. Okay? Healthcare é cuidados de saúde. E lembra que a gente não tem hospitais públicos, a gente não tem saúde pública nesse país, ok? This is the crazy part. Okay? Esta é a parte louca. Most Americans cannot afford it. Okay? A maioria dos americanos não pode pagar. Let's take the 2020 pandemic as an example. Okay? Vamos tomar the 2020 pandemic, a pandemia de 2020, as an example, como exemplo. In a recent article written by Medical Express, in a recent article written by Medical Express, in a recent article, em artigo recente, written by, escrito pela, okay? The typical cost to hospitalize a COVID-19 patient The typical cost to hospitalize a COVID-19 patient, okay, the typical cost, o custo típico, to hospitalize, para hospitalizar, a COVID-19 patient, paciente COVID, okay, can range anywhere from $14,000 to nearly $75,000. Can range anywhere from $14,000 to nearly $75,000, okay? Can range anywhere from, pode variar entre, okay, to nearly, de quase, okay? Mas, gente, $14,000 to nearly $75,000, absurd. According to several studies published this year. According to several studies published this year. Okay? According to, de acordo com, several studies seria vários estudos, published this year, publicados este ano. Okay? The total bill depends on a variety of factors. The total bill depends on a variety of factors. So the total bill, a conta total, depends on a variety, depende de uma variedade of factors, de fatores, including type of health insurance, level of treatment, and including type of health insurance, level of treatment, and incluindo tipo de plano de saúde, nível de tratamento e, okay, the state the patient lives in. The state the patient lives in. Okay, estado em que o paciente vive. Most Americans cannot afford to buy health insurance. Most Americans cannot afford to buy health insurance. Okay? Most Americans, a maioria dos americanos, cannot afford, não pode pagar, to buy health insurance, pagar seguro de saúde. Okay? But they also cannot afford to not have it. But they can also not afford to not have it. Ok? Mas também não pode se dar o luxo de não tê-lo. Okay? The United States offers Medicaid for those Americans. The United States offers Medicaids for those Americans. Ok? Os Estados Unidos oferecem Medicaid para aqueles americanos who earn under a certain amount of money per year. Who earn under a certain amount of money per year. Okay? Who earn under, que ganha até. Ok? Under aqui é baixo. Ok? Mas em português seria até. Ok? Who earn under a certain amount, que ganha até uma certa quantidade of money per year, de dinheiro por ano. But this amount is usually within the poverty range. But this amount is usually within the poverty range, okay? But this amount, mas essa quantia, is usually within, geralmente está dentro, is usually within, okay? The poverty range, okay? Da faixa de pobreza, okay? The poverty range. There are no public doctors or hospitals that are covered. There are no public doctors or hospitals that are covered. Okay? Não há médicos ou hospitais públicos cobertos. Okay? Remember, covered, coberto, cobertos. Okay? By taxes, since everything regarding health is privatized in the U.S. By taxes, since everything regarding health is privatized in the U.S. Okay? Por impostos, uma vez que tudo em relação à saúde é privatizado nos Estados Unidos. Okay? Many immigrants who are living in the U.S. out of status say, many immigrants who are living in the U.S. out of status say, okay? Many immigrants, muitos imigrantes, who are living in the U.S., que vivem nos Estados Unidos, out of status say, fora de status dizem. They do not pay anything for their visits to the doctor. They do not pay anything for their visits to the doctor. Okay? They do not pay, que não pagam, anything for their visits, nada por suas visitas, to the doctor, ao médico. Okay? Doctor, em inglês, okay? Médico. But this makes insurance costs higher for those who do pay. But this makes insurance costs higher for those who do pay. Okay? But this makes, mas isso torna, insurance costs higher, os custos de seguro mais altos for those who do pay, para aqueles que pagam, okay? For those who do pay, para aqueles que pagam. The U.S. healthcare system is the worst among the high-income earning nations. The U.S. healthcare system is the worst among the high-income earning nations. So, the U.S. healthcare system, o sistema de saúde dos Estados Unidos, is the worst among, é o pior entre, the high-income earning nations, okay? As nações de alta renda. So, high-income earning é alta renda, okay? We may have some of the best hospitals and doctors in the world. We may have some of the best hospitals and doctors in the world. Okay? We may have, podemos ter, some of the best, alguns dos melhores hospitals and doctors, hospitais e médicos in the world, do mundo, but they are reserved for the richest patients in the world. But they are reserved for the richest patients in the world. Okay? But they are reserved for, mas eles estão reservados para the richest patients, os pacientes mais ricos in the world, do mundo. Many Americans file bankruptcy every year due to diabetes. Many Americans file bankruptcy every year due to diabetes. Okay? So, once again, many Americans, muitos americanos, file bankruptcy. Ok? File bankruptcy é entre com pedido de falência. Okay, so to file bankruptcy é entrar com pedido de falência, ok? So bankruptcy, lembra? Bankruptcy é falência, ok? Every year, todos os anos, due to diabetes, devido a diabetes, ok? So every year é todos os anos, every year. Heart attacks and many other issues that would be treated. Heart attacks and many other issues that would be treated. Okay, so heart attacks são ataques cardíacos. Okay, heart attacks. And many other issues e muitas outras questões that would be treated, que seriam tratadas, okay, at an affordable cost under a national health care plan. At an affordable cost under a national health care plan. Okay? So, at an affordable cost, a custo acessível, affordable cost. Cost é custo. Ok? And affordable é acessível. Custo acessível, affordable cost. Such as that given to citizens in neighboring Canada. Such as that given to citizens in neighboring Canada. Okay? Such as that given, such as that given, aqui, such as that given, seria como o dado. Como o dado. To citizens, a cidadãos in neighboring Canada. No país vizinho Canadá. Ok? E aqui é onde eu tirei aquele material sobre o custo de paciente com Covid em 2020. Muito louco, gente. Alguma coisa tem que mudar. Isso é absurdo. Isso nem no socialismo. Eu acho que te tem num hospital público, saúde público, é um direito humano. Mas ainda se você já está pagando impostos. Ok, gente? É só isso por essa aula. Até a próxima. Espero que você aprendeu não só inglês, mas pode entender um pouco melhor o nosso sistema de saúde aqui nos Estados Unidos. Kisses until the next class.